When you find yourself caught in that constant cycle of anxious thoughts, what I call the anxiety worry loop, it usually means your body's built-in calming system, the vagus nerve, has gone offline. The vagus nerve runs from your brain stem down through your neck, chest, and abdomen. It's the highway that connects your brain to your heart, lungs, and digestive system. When it's working well, it tells the body, you're safe, you can rest, you can heal. But when stress builds, that signal gets weak and the body slips into fight or flight. Your heart beats faster, your breathing gets shorter, and the mind starts racing with what if thoughts. To reset the vagus nerve, we have to remind the body that it's safe again. One of the simplest ways to do this is using a parasympathetic nervous system reset. Very simple. You just move your eyes all the way to one side, close them, and imagine you're staring at something. I like to think about staring at my younger self, an innocent version of myself. And I hold my gaze there. I take a deep breath in through my nose, out through my mouth, and then I hold my breath as if I've dove into deep water. And then I've maybe dove too deep and I'm trying to hold my breath until I get to the surface. This causes the parasympathetic nervous system to reset because it takes you into kind of a risky feeling. It's kind of like going into a cold chamber, an icy chamber, an ice bath. This also resets the nervous system. When you get out, the body relaxes. That's what happens when you take that deep breath after holding your breath for a long time. Also, bilateral stimulation, that means gently activating both sides of the body, can really help as well. You can do this by walking, tapping your shoulders alternatively, or even swaying side to side. This cross pattern movement tells the brain to integrate its two hemispheres and calms the nervous system. I used to move my feet back and forth like this before I fell asleep. When both sides of the body work together, the mind can't stay stuck in repetitive worry. It begins to synchronize and then settle. Now, let's pay attention to your breathing. If you're listening to your breath, just observing it, and you hear shallow breaths, high in the chest, quick, they tell your body that you're in danger. They keep the fight or flight switch turned on. But when you switch to long, slower breaths in through the nose, and maybe out through the mouth for a few times first, and then continuing on through the nose, just through the nose. A little pause between each tells the body I'm safe now. That pause, that tiny moment of stillness or peace after you exhale, is where life, dreams, that place where we drift off into sleep begins. Before sleep, you can use these same tools to stop rumination, that replay of the loop of the day that keeps you awake. Here's how to prepare for deep rest and no rumination. Of course, that's what we all want. As you lie down, let your eyelids remain just barely closed, not tight, as if you're watching a movie on the inside of your mind. Gently direct your eyes upward toward your forehead. This tiny movement stimulates this kind of a twitching, trembling of the eyelids. This alpha and theta state is what happens right before you begin to dream. Then the key here is to stop having conversations in your mind. If you hear words in your mind, like you're speaking, that's a conversation. Instead, think in images, pictures. If words start forming sentences, transform them into images. Whatever it is you're thinking about, turn it into an image. The mind dreams in images, not words. So when you shift from talking to pictures, you guide your brain into sleep and out of problem solving mode. This is the practical side of my book, Zeroing Out. It's not about forcing the mind to stop. The brain never stops thinking. It's about helping the body remember safety. When the body feels safe, the mind naturally quiets. So the next time you catch yourself in the anxiety worry loop, take a slow breath, move your body gently side to side, let your eyes rest upward, and turn your thoughts into pictures of peace. That will get you to sleep. That's how you break the loop, by resetting the body first and letting calm rise naturally from within. And as you rest there in that quiet awareness, remember this: peace isn't something you chase, it's what remains when the storm settles. Spirit has never left you. It simply waits beneath the noise of your brain for your permission to take over again. When you sleep, it's like plugging in your phone to restore its battery. You're restoring your own battery. When you surrender the loop of fear, you allow love to restore the balance to your mind, your breath, and your body. That's the moment of zeroing out. When you remember that God's calm is your true nature, and peace isn't something you find, it's something you remember. Have a beautiful day. I'm Bo Sebastian.